Good morning, students. Today we are going to see lesson number 10, the expansion of the Maratha power. At the beginning of the Maratha War of Independence, the Mughals were on the offensive whereas the Marathas were the defensive. This situation, however, was reversed at the end of the War of Independence. The Mughals were thrown on the defensive against the Marathas. In the latter half of the 18th century, the Marathas subdued the Mughal and extended the Maratha power to cover practically the whole of India. We shall study this in this present chapter. Release of Shahu Maharaj. After the death of the Emperor Aurangzeb, there issued a struggle among his son for the throne of Delhi. Prince Azam Shah was in the south. At once, he marched towards the Delhi, seized the imperial throne. Prince Shahu was in his captivity. Azam Shah believed that if Shahu Maharaj was released, there would arise a conflict between him and Maharani Tarabai for the Gadi of the Maratha Chhatrapati. Azam Shah felt that would be sap the Maratha strength and therefore released the Shahu Maharaj. Coronation of Shahu Maharaj. Immediately after his release, Shahu Maharaj marched towards the Maharashtra. He was joined by the same Maratha Sardars, but Maharani Tarabai did not accept his claim to the throne. The armies of the Shahu Maharaj and Maharani Tarabai fought a battle at Khed on the bank of the Bhima. Shahu Maharaj won the battle. He captured the Satara. He got himself crowned. Satara became a capital of the Maratha kingdom. For a while, the mutual opposition between the Maharani Tarabai and Shahu Maharaj continued. Maharani Tarabai proclaimed her minor son Shivaji II as the Chhatrapati of Panhala in 1710 CE. This gave rise to an independent Maratha kingdom at Kolhapur besides the one at Satara. The early part of the Shahu Maharaj's life was spent in Mughal camps, so he had seen Mughal politics from the close quarters. He knew the finer points of Mughal and especially North Indian politics. He knew the strength and weakness of the Mughal Empire very well. Also, he was acquainted with the influential people in the Mughal court. All these factors helped him deciding the new direction of Maratha politics. In the changing circumstances, Aurangzeb's successors had give up his policy by destroying the Maratha power. So the Marathas adopted a new policy instead of fighting with Mughal power. They decided to protect it and expand their own empire. In that role, they believed that restoring an old temple is as good as building a new one. The Mughal power faced the threat of Irani and Afghani invaders from the northwest and also of the local Pathan, local Rajput, Jat and Rohilas rulers. The internal competition and the tussle in the court has also weakened the Mughal power. Due to all this, the Delhi court needed the help of the Marathas. Balaji Vishwanath. After Shahu Maharaj was released by the Mughals, he made Balaji Vishwanath a Peshwa. Balaji hailed from Srivardhan in Konkan. He was competent and experienced. He convinced many Sardars that Shahu Maharaj was the real heir of the Maratha Empire and made them join hands with him. Kanoji Agre was the chief of Maratha Navy. He chose to side with the Maratha Tarabai and attacked the territories of Shahu Maharaj. This gave rise to a difficult situation. Under these circumstances, Shahu Maharaj sent Balaji to fight against the Kanoji Agre. Balaji avoided war and won Kanoji over the Shahu Maharaj side. Chauthai and Sardeshmukhi raids. After the straightening the position of Shahu Maharaj in Maharashtra, Balaji turned his attention to politics in the north. Delhi court, after the death of the Emperor Aurangzeb, was marked by the bickering and confusion. The Sayyid brothers Abdullah and Hussein Ali had become very influential. With their help, in 1790 CE, Balaji obtained from a Mughal emperor the grant or cens to collect the Chauthai and Sardeshmukhi from the Mughal territory in Deccan. This Sanads gave the Marathas the rights to collect 1/4 part Chauthai and 1/10 part Sardeshmukhi of the revenue from the Mughal territory in the Deccan. Nizam defeat. Now we are going to see the Balaji first. After the death of the Balaji Vishwanath, Shahu Maharaj appointed Balaji's son Bajirao first, the Peshwa, in 1720 CE. He expanded the Maratha Empire during the term of 20 years. Nizam's defeat at Palkhed. The Mughal Emperor Farrukhsir appointed Nizam ul Mulk the Subedar of Deccan. In 1713 CE, Nizam tried to establish his separate existence at Hyderabad. The emperor had given the Maratha the right to recover Chauthai Sardeshmukhi from the Mughal areas. Nizam was against it. He captured some part of Pune Pargana. Bajirao decided to checkmate the Nizam. He defeated the Nizam at Palghed near Aurangabad. The Nizam accepted the Maratha right to collect the Chauthai Sardeshmukhi. As the Mughal power had become weak, Bajirao knew that there was more scope to expand the empire towards the northern side. Shahu Maharaj supported his policy. Malwa. Malwa in today's Madhya Pradesh was a part of Mughal Empire. Bajirao sent Malharao Holkar, Ranoji Shinde and Udaji Pawar under the leadership of brother Chimaji Appa to Malwa. There they straightened the post. Bundelkhand. Bundelkhand means some part of today's Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. Areas around Jhansi, Panna and Sagar. King Chhatrasal had established his own kingdom in Bundelkhand. The Mughal Subedar Muhammad Khan Bangush of Allahabad attacked the Bundelkhand and has defeated the Chhatrasal. Chhatrasal appealed to Bajirao for help. Bajirao took a large army and went to Bundelkhand. He defeated Bangush. Chhatrasal honored Bajirao. This is how Marathas established their supremacy in Malwa and Bundelkhand. Bajirao demanded for the emperor the office of Subedar of Malwa. As the emperor declined this demand, Bajirao marched on Delhi in 1737 CE. The Mughals were taken by surprise. The Battle of Bhopal. The emperor felt uneasy on account of Bajirao's Delhi expedition. He invited the Nizam to protect Delhi. Nizam marched against the Bajirao with his huge army. Bajirao defeated him at Bhopal. Nizam agreed to secure the Sanad of Malwa Subedari for the Marathas from the Badshah. The defeat of Portuguese. The territories of Vasai and Thane on the Konkan coast were in a possession of the Portuguese. The Portuguese rulers oppressed their subjects. Bajirao sent his brother Chimaji Appa to subdue the Portuguese. Chimaji conquered the Thane and the adjacent areas. In 1739 CE, he laid siege to the Vasai fort. The fort was very strong. The Portuguese had a powerful artillery. In spite of all this, Chimaji continued the siege with the perseverance and forced the Portuguese to surrender. The fort of Vasai and large part of the Portuguese territory passed into the hands of the Marathas. Death of Bajirao. Nadir Shah, the emperor of Iran, invaded India. Following the order of Shahu Maharaj, Bajirao sent out the north with a big army to defend the Mughal power. By the time he reached the Burhanpur, Nadir Shah had returned to Iran with the enormous booty looted from Delhi. In April 1740, Bajirao breathed his last Rawalkhedi on the banks of Narmada. Bajirao was a great general with the valor. He established the Maratha supremacy in the north. He won status for the Maratha power as the formidable power in the whole of India. In his time, the Shinde, Holkar, Pawar, Gaikwad families attained the promises. Now here our lesson number 10 is completed. You should solve the exercise below it.